Today's video is brought to you by Demmo, the future of private audio sharing. Forget about messy Dropbox folders and clunky SoundCloud privates. Demmo is built for music creators with everything producers has been asking for decades. You get heat maps that show exactly where people are listening or skipping, multiple customizable links per track, and powerful organization with versioning, Kanban boards, and status tags. They have also just added folder sharing with password protection included on the free tier, along with super useful tools like swapping audio on links and more. There are dashboards built for feedback live streams, and every play is in lossless quality. If you are serious about your music, ditch the old tools and start sharing smarter with Demmo at demmo.link. Hello producers, it's Ozgun here and welcome to the channel. So guys, if your kick drum sounding weak or too flat, maybe it's not about your mixing, but the problem could be in the kick sample selection, or most importantly the layering. So in this tutorial I like to show you how you can achieve club ready, super crisp, super tight, huge techno kicks. So in this tutorial I like to show you how to approach layering kick drums and also how to process them. And if you're ready, let's jump to that video. So guys, the kick drum has 3 layers: a sub, a mid, and the top layer, and also you can put some air, some texture and layer like that. So for my own tracks, I usually start with a 909, a dry kick drum. So you can find it in anywhere, Splice, Loop Cloud. You can search for free samples and find some kicks like that. So they are pretty nice club kicks, right? And basically they are not much polished. They are decent, yes, but not much polished, not much processed. They are just basic the 909 kicks with some saturation. And you can do something like that. Let's grab any of them for now. I have a bass line like this. So I usually pick the first, the sub kick, the first layer of the kick, by just putting a high cut filter to my master. And I only focus the low frequencies. And then I just figured out which one works best with my bass line. For example, this one is pretty short, so it's not gonna work with this bass line. Because I can literally have a gap, between kick and bass. But if I choose this, now I don't have gap, so I can connect them in a good way. So let's shorten this one a little bit. I'm trying to achieve a waveform that connects with the bass. If the cycle goes up, down, I don't want this cycle to break much. So still I'm maintaining the up and down cycles, and eventually the kick tail is connecting with my bass. So that's perfect. So the cycle could be broken. That's also okay. Just trust your ear. If it sounds good, it sounds good. But don't use a kick like... Don't have gap between your kick and bass, or don't overlap them too much. And obviously, there's some phase cancellation going on. You see the bass frequency is now vanished. That's bad. And I can, mute the EQ. So now we can hear the full thing. That sounds nice. So let's put this kick to here. Let's call it sub kick. That's the first layer of our kick. Now let's get some Bigroom Techno pack. Now the second layer I'm searching, I can pick any of the drums that sounds good to my ear. I'm gonna go with the August Zach sample pack. He got pretty nice kicks. I like this one. So let me put it to next channel. I'm gonna call it mid kick, and I'm gonna shorten it. Not gonna use the tail, not even gonna use the sub part of it. We will just use the mid part of it. Something like that. So I'm gonna smash some EQ for this kick and get rid of the low frequencies, because we already have the sub layer, which is this first one. Right? So the second layer should be EQ'd we should get rid of all the sub frequencies, not to clash them. If you overlap two subs, remember what happened when we overlap kick and the bass just a couple minutes ago. They phase cancel each other. The same thing would happen to the kicks as well. So make sure the second layer don't contain any sub frequencies. And even you can get rid of some highs. Because eventually we just need to use the mid frequencies of it. So after that we can put some saturation to the kick drum. The good thing with like after cutting the low frequencies and get rid of a little bit high frequencies, now the saturation is gonna sound much more pleasant to the ear. So I'm using this Analog Obsession Fat Drive. This is like in a bundle. You can download it for free. All the plugins I'm gonna use for this tutorial is gonna be free. So this plugin has a really nice analog character. So we will just give some drive and also compensate the gain. So just check it out with and without. Now let's blend two signals together. Maybe I can lower the sub kick couple dBs not to clip. Okay, sounds good so far. Let's fine tune it. And for the third layer, we will just get some like a top kick, and for that we just need the little, first click of it. Let's send it to here. Let's call it top kick, and let's add some low cut. And that's just up to your taste. Sounds good. Let's check it with bass. You see, without the layering, how dry, how dull is that? How flat is that? But with the layers, and we are not even finished, we are just halfway there. Just bear with me. And now let's search for some acoustic kicks. Maybe this one. So again, that's totally up to your taste. I'm gonna call it texture. And probably I'm just gonna copy the same low cut. So as you see, this is just giving some character to the kick. A little bit air, a little bit top end. And now I'm searching for some air. Maybe this one. So let's get rid of the first part. And even maybe the tail as well. So let me send this to the texture channel for a low cut. And let's listen them all together now. If you want, you can make it sharp like this. You can make it longer too. It's totally up to your taste. I think that sounds nice now. Next thing is to glue the kick a little bit. So for this, I'm gonna use some compressor like this. For the settings, I'm gonna put my ratio 4:1. Again, this is totally free. I'm gonna put a link to the description to download this from Analog Obsession. It's an emulation. So I'm putting the attack to 30-ish, something like that, which helped me to, the first click, first attack part, and the mid punch part of the kick passed through the compressor, and then it only compressed the low end, the tail of it. So in our case, the kick is pretty much okay. We don't need to compress it much. That's why I'm just gonna do it a little. For the release, you can put like 200 Hz or something like that, and just adjust the threshold, maybe 1 or 2 dB gain reduction at top. So I'm only using this if it's really needed. Maybe this time I can just put the ratio 2:1 to make it a little bit soft. So this makes my kick a little bit punchy. And after that, I like to put this API EQ simulation, again from Analog Obsession. Now we are shaping the kick drum. Some 8 cables. So that's totally up to you. Something like that. And some boost for 250 to make the kick more warm. Somewhere around. Okay, something like that. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. And if you need, you can put a kickstart or something like that for a reverse shape, so you can cut the tail of the kick if it's needed. If it's too long because of the processing, maybe it can get longer. So you can just, instead of shaping them from here, you can just put a kickstart on the end of the chain and fix it. Let's check it with the bass. And before we preview, you can fine tune it with the bass and maybe listen it with the context. Let's do that. So for example, I will boost to sub a little bit more, so I can just go to my group, and in here maybe I can boost a little bit 60. Maybe I can lower the texture a little bit. Yes, like that. And let's balance the kick and bass. Let me put some maximizer, I mean the clipper, so I can boost the volumes a little. So from this, pretty boring, right? To this. And one more trick before I end the video. If you like to make your kick a little bit, I don't know, tight, you can pretty much dip a little bit of 300 Hz with a narrow curve. This frequency. Not do it too much. If you want to make it more punchy and tight, just get rid of a little bit 300. I think in our case, it's good. And also let me give it a little bit more mid kick. Yeah, I can fine tune this kick forever. yeah, the difference is like day and night. So yeah guys, this is how I layer and how I process my own kicks in my tracks. And remember, finding the best combination of each layer is super important. That's the first priority to achieve good kick drums in your tracks. And then with this layering tricks and processing tricks, you can achieve your dream kicks. If you have any questions or additions, please write a comment below. And today that was it guys. See you on the next video. Bye bye.